Villagers, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Africans, we only appreciate our good leaders when they are no more. When they are with us, we find every reason to dance to the colonizers' song, because the colonizers sing beautifully to our ears, that we tend to forget that these leaders are fighting, and when we get the freedom that we truly deserve, it's not only us that will enjoy it. The freedom is going to be forever and ever. According to Professor Lumumba, we owe Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah. He apologizes on the behalf of the people who lacked wisdom and took Osagyefo out of power. That we can only get what we want when we finally unite. Even till date, some of us still lack that wisdom. When these people are coming to us, they sweet talk us to the point that we don't even know the danger of what they're asking us to do. In this 21st century, we still have people who believe Nkrumah never did anything. We still have leaders and even some of us, the youth, that still points hands at Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso leaders, calling them dictators simply because the oppressor says so.
I am telling us, as I remember the Osagyefo for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, that now, as you turn in your grave, if you had been alive, you'd possibly be 107 years today. But your people, some of them, in their lack of wisdom, chose to remove you from power. I apologize on their behalf. They gave you only a few years to be present in this world. And during those few years that you are present in this world, you shook not only Ghana but Africa so very fundamentally that although your mortal remains were interred, your spirit is alive and well. And it's that spirit that occupies our minds and hearts today as we remind ourselves that the only way in which Africa will realize our potential is through the path of unity. I know as you lie in your grave, great Osagyefo, there is a sense in which, in a manner so completely invisible to us, you are turning uncomfortably and weeping uncontrollably, because your continent is bleeding. It is bleeding in every corner. In our heart, in the Congo, she bleeds. That country that is so rich is yet the poorest nation in Africa. But it does not stop bleeding only in the Congo. It also bleeds in our horn in Somalia. That country, which could be very rich, is only famous for the wrong things. Men killing men for no reason. But it doesn't stop bleeding there. It is also bleeding in our armpit, in Equatorial Guinea, that country that God gave so much oil, That oil was long captured by one family, and they are using it for their benefit to the detriment of their people. And it doesn't stop bleeding there. In Central African Republic and in Libya and in Mauritania and in Mali, your continent is torn asunder. And we who have gathered here today are asking ourselves the fundamental question: what must we do to save Africa? And that is why today, when we are looking at Africa and when we are remembering you on that 24th day of May in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, we cannot help but remember how animated you are. We cannot help but remember that what you saw 50 years ago is turning out to be as evergreen as when you spoke them. You told us then that our unity was going to be our salvation from other civilizations. Today, Africa is said to be rising. But the question we are asking, for whom is Africa rising? Today, the minerals in our belly are being exploited, Osagiev. The uranium in Niger is being taken away from France to France. The manganese in Ghana, in your own country, is being taken away. Even the cocoa which you must have consumed as a young man is taken away in the same manner that God made it to be converted into something in Switzerland. Your people have not learned to add value to it. They have an apology for a factory in Takoradi, but it does very little, Osagiefo. In other words, there is a lot to be done. We can hear you telling us that we need to have free movement of goods and services in this continent. I can now inform you that when they met on the 27th day of July in Kigali, Rwanda, they created a passport, but that passport is only known to the president. The people of Africa have no idea what it is. But they have started, so we must believe that going forward, every African will carry what is an African passport, which will allow them to move, as you contemplated, from Dakar in Senegal to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, from Cape Town in South Africa to Cairo in Egypt, and that they'll be able to move without free let and hindrance. Theosagiefo, we remember you.
We still can find every reason to believe that what they are saying isn't true. We worship them so much. Like Joshua Momponga rightfully said, we can never resist them because they package their God in their color. So when we want to do something to them, we think that we are harming their God. If in this 21st century, we still sit down, that when Yellow Papa wants to harm us, he should tell us that I want to harm you before we believe that this is danger that they are bringing, then we have a long way to go. Then it's the same history that we will repeat. Because when these people want to do anything to any leader in Africa, they don't tell you they want to harm your leader. They don't tell you they want to fight your progress. They only instigate you against them. Just like they started with all in all, saying Captain Ibrahim Traore is using their gold to protect himself. Indirectly, rise up against your leader because he's stealing. But it takes the African so much time to read in between the lines of these people's messages that they always quote to give to us. We have to unite. But if we still have colonial mindset, believing everything they say and not going beyond what they have put before us, it will be very difficult, because we'll be the same people they will use, just like they did to Nkrumah. And when everything is now open and done, that's when we will now rise up and say, but they never told us that This was what they wanted to do. They only said this because we have failed to go beyond the information they left for us. These people always code whatever they want to feed you with. We really need to unite. We really need to think beyond whatever that is kept before us. And when we don't understand things and people rise up to explain things to us, instead of us to listen and digest, we attack them because we have trust in certain people. And the people we least expected are the people they will use to fight us. Now they know that we know the ones that dance to their tune. So they will look for people that you least expected to use against this revolution. Anybody under their system is under their control. They do what they wish and not what you want. And that is why these democratic elected leaders are not being fought by Yellow Popo. That is why they praise them and they go after Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso, they that are giving you total freedom. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Ghana.